it ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no one for guessing. No more than emotionally invested.
What's up, girl, and welcome back to my channel, boo. In 2023, we're doing big things. That's all I'm gonna say. We're doing big things. So yeah, if you're new here, welcome. So happy to have you. If you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying out some things, girl, and I think you're gonna like it. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I have on a full face of makeup because I just recorded like a reel and I was recording something else. So the face is done, but as you can see, I got hair clips in because I'm really on big chilling vibes. But I wanted to kind of hop in and get this thing started. So if you have seen any of my vlogs, you'll see that like every so often I will go into what I would call fierce chats where I just wanted to talk about different stuff. And I was talking about like Shanquilla Robinson. I was talking about the Love is Blind season 2. And when I took a look back at my content, I took some time off. I did the family thing. So anyways, when I took some time off, I realized like, looking back at my content, different places that I wanted to change, I realized that the fierce chat section, I just knew that I wanted to pull that out of the vlog, and I wanted the vlog to stay being like my lifestyle. Yes, we can talk about different topics, of course, girl, always. Come bring it to me. But I wanted to save that particular type of dialogue for somewhere else, and I really didn't even really know where I wanted that to be. But as y'all know, we just got past the holidays, and under the Christmas tree, Santa got me a like podcast mic. My man. So he got me a podcast mic, and immediately my spidey senses started going off. I'm like, fierce chats, this is where we're going to put you, and we'll just see where it goes. As soon as I saw it, I was really, really excited about it. I was just like, wow, I didn't even think of this. Isn't it crazy? That's why they say the person that you're going to be with for like the rest of your life is the most important decision, like one of the, if not the most important decision of your life, because it can really change the trajectory of kind of like the path that you follow. And to have a partner that saw stuff in me that I hadn't seen yet in myself. Moving on. So anyways, boo, let's just hop into it. Let's just get into it. It's about, what time is it? Wow, I just dropped my remote. It is, wow, I didn't even say Happy New Year. I'm so rude. Happy New Year. It is January 1st, New Year's Day. It is 2:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what's going on with the degrees? I'm literally like, in addition to all the changes, like the new background, I'm standing in front of a new position. So like the sun is coming in a little more, which I'm really digging. Like I'm really liking it. And of course we got the pink light because your girl loves pink. It's 67 degrees today. I'm feeling it. Anyways, moving on. Okay, girl. So I have actually been looking at Potomac. I'm not gonna lie. Like I have been looking at Potomac, and Potomac really is my favorite. Aside from Atlanta, Potomac is like my next favorite. I like Beverly Hills. I like Kyle and them and Garcelle and all. But anyways, girl. So I'm looking at Potomac, and I'm really like definitely over it. I'm beyond over it. So I really didn't have too much of an issue over the years with Ashley. I really have had no issue with Ashley. But as if these last few years, she's been getting on my nerve. And this season in particular, I am good. I'm really straight on it because I feel like she is always coming at my girl Candace, which is funny because I didn't really care for Candace at the beginning either. I was just like, it's giving, spoiled princess, hasn't really had nothing happening to you, so you don't really know what's going on type of stuff, just oblivious of things a little bit. Kind of like we felt about Portia when she first came to Real Housewives of Atlanta, like just a little bit, you're saying stuff, but it's not making any sense. So anyways, I really didn't care for Candace, but I am just seeing Ashley do what I feel like is, I feel like she targets Candace. I feel like she gaslights her. She gaslights the hell out of her because she just be like, oh, hey, Karen, I just wanted to let you know that like I was talking to Candace the other day and she told me how you was in the street with a boyfriend. Like, why? And why you got to do all that? I don't know. I think the stuff that she does is unnecessary. I feel like she needs to focus on whether or not she's divorced or not divorced. And I don't even want to speak on it. I really don't even want to speak on it because it's none of my business, really. I'm going to speak on the girl stuff, but she seems like she has some other things going on in the home life that may need more of her attention. And I feel like she's misdirecting her energy. But I am really over the green eye bandits. I'm over them. I'm literally over Giselle and Robin. Robin in particular. Robin. Because of the fact that I can't sit here and say I'm like, I don't know. I didn't have an issue with Robin. I have an issue with Giselle. I feel like she do stuff on purpose to get underneath people's skin. And I feel like, why? I don't get it. But I never really had an issue with her either. But Robin literally saying stuff and hiding her hand on things when she said that she didn't need to be pulled back when her and Wendy got into that what and got into that 2-on-1. Like, girl, yes, you did. You've been acting and you've been going all out. She been acting like you know what? I have Wendy's back. I didn't want Wendy to sit here and act dumb. I didn't want her to jeopardize her job at Johns Hopkins. Girl, stop lying. You don't care nothing about Wendy. And that's fine. It is very much fine. But like, stop acting like you care because literally you did not have Wendy's back. You recorded her while she was in the middle of an argument. And I don't have a Twitter, but I'll like hashtag RHOPAJK, whatever the letters are. And I'll put it in Twitter. And I'll just kind of see what it is that you guys are saying on there. And like, people align. People agree that like, Robin, you did not care nothing about no Wendy. I don't care about her at all. But like, does the internet, do y'all like Wendy? Do y'all not like her? Like, what's the problem? I'm indifferent on Wendy's positioning. I feel like we can do with or we can do without. We don't really need her, honestly. But it's like no shade, no tea. I think that, she's definitely part of a fuller representation of Black women on a show. And I understand making sure we have representation from all everywhere on the spectrum. But like, okay, she's dry. The stuff she says is dry. It's never catchy. It's never on point. I mean, I've seen Robin Reed, Karen Reed, Giselle, and go on. Even little Ashley. And I'm saying little Ashley, but even little Ashley, I've seen her. And I'm just like, Wendy, it's not giving what you think it was giving. I think the first statement that I heard from her about her being a doctor and being 3 degrees hotter and all of those different things, I was like, go off, sis, go off. And I felt like that was Reed. Since then, I don't feel like I've heard nothing. Not a thing. Next. So I feel like after getting this podcasting mic and just kind of thinking like, where did he even come up with that? So I feel like if you looked at my vlogs, if you have not, girl, go take a look at a few. 1 or 2. Just 1 or 2. That's all I'm asking, please, pretty please. But anyways, after looking at my vlogs from last year, I'm literally sitting here thinking like, and I'm going to say last year, like it's far, honey. Like it wasn't a day ago. Last year, because it's now the past. That's what I do now. So as I look at my vlogs from last year, I just really realized like how my problems really were starting to swallow me. And that really changed my confidence level in myself. So I started to look at other content again and be like, the evil comparison thing and be like, okay, girl, you do not need nothing from me. You really don't. It's plenty of great girls doing content. I see so many great girls doing content and I'm like, y'all got it. It's like literally covered and smothered, covered. So I realized that once I started to do the comparison thing, I just kind of got into a rhythm like with my content as a whole, just to put stuff out there. And I'm like, what happened? Like what happened? I felt like there was just so many different things back to back that were occurring. And I may have said this in my blog, but I felt like there were so many different things that were occurring that I really couldn't recover from them quickly. I would be like, okay, all right, this thing happened. And then the next thing would happen. And the next thing would happen. And then I started to do that thing that you're like not supposed to do, where you like you consolidate everything together versus isolating each individual moment and trying to address it. I was just like, things keep happening to me. I don't know what's going on with everybody else, but things keep happening to me, and I'm very much confused. And so I felt like that came out in my content. So I forgot about things that I have just like learned as I've gotten older, which is just like, you have to make small goals to achieve larger goals. And I've done this before. I've done this several times. I think that I also forgot, and I was on Instagram per usual, honey. On Instagram per usual. And I saw, what did I see in particular? I'm forgetting. Oh, I saw this guy, and he was this man. Now, don't get on me if this is like the Gandhi of our time and I'm unaware. Okay, I don't know the man's name. He was African American. I'm unsure what his name was, but he was making a speech and accepting a reward or something like that. And he said, like, they asked him, I guess, like, are the three best things, top things he would give for advice for people or whatever. I don't know the question. Anyways, moving on. So he said, one of the ones that resonated with me is that the fastest way to get to anything that you want is the fastest way to get to anything that you want is slow and steady. Okay, got it. It rolled off my tongue. So reminding me here again that it is a marathon, not a race. And I felt like I was just throwing stuff out there to be in the race with the rest of, you know, my peers that I see in the same avenue, in the same area. And I'm like, okay, no, not focused on what you need to be focused on. So I am now focused, boo. And I feel like that also, like when I was first starting my content, that, by the way, I'm like not even a year into my content yet. Okay. So, but this is just to say that starting anything and keeping at it and staying consistent and not letting the environmental factors get the best of you, like, it's difficult. It's difficult no matter like what stage. I don't know what to say. I think that, you know, even if you haven't been doing content for long, that if you've tried to do anything like, or start anything and be consistent at it, it's hard. So, and I feel like sometimes when we haven't really done something, that we don't have like, you can't really know what it feels like to do something unless you've done it. And I feel like, I mean, duh, that makes sense, right? But it's just like I'll speak for myself, would look at like content creators and be like, girl, that was easy. You took a picture of your foot. I can take a picture of my foot. That's it. And then once I go and try and replicate that same thing, it don't go like that, boo. It really don't. It'd be like, she had her foot turned, the light from the blinds falls on her toes so effortlessly. And then you try and do it and it's like, no. She really took her time to take a picture of her foot. And it's enough to where you stopped, you double click, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So I feel like I didn't really obviously have a respect for all that content creators do until I started to do it myself. And it is difficult. It is hard. There's so many different people out here that can distract you. And then, you know, being a customer or whatever you want to call it, like I'm a user of Instagram, I'm a user of YouTube as well, right? So I'm over here looking at my favorite YouTubers, looking at my favorite influencers on Instagram. And I'm just like, girl, the comparison, the measurement, it's not there. You probably need to beg. But anyways, I'm thinking this, girl. How do we achieve your it girl to-do list? Okay. How do we achieve our it girl to-do list? Okay. So we set small goals to achieve larger goals. Cool. We do our best to try and like block out the environmental factors around us, other people, other opinions, and so on and so forth. We take our time. And then we also remember to just like, even when it's something you love, it doesn't mean that there won't be a struggle within that process. So with that being said, let's just take the time to experience all the phases. I don't know. I feel like those things will just like help, like having full clarity of like everything. Like stay focused. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with people that are, doing things that you may want to do, and not in a way that's envious, like in a way of that's admirable. Like, wow, this friend has financial literacy. Like, I'm going to spend time with them so I can learn from them, be a student of the business. The business is life, I guess, like things like that. And I feel like that alignment like really helps. But I also feel like, I don't know, as I take a look at like different like relationships that, even I have around me, I just realized like everybody is from like so many different backgrounds. And so like that just means that everybody's perspective about things is just going to be so different. And I think that that's what helps makes us unique. But I feel like that also, that uniqueness also puts us like against each other. Like I know that, like all through school, people would be like, you got a white girl voice. You sound like a white girl. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like Michelle Obama said, not black enough for the black people, and dang sure not white enough. If the black people calling me white, let me go hang out with the white people. White people be like, you're black. You know what I mean? So where am I really supposed to be going? And I went to a private school, girl. I went to a private school all the way through 7th grade. We wore full-fledged uniforms. And, it was really like, I don't know if this would be a thing in 2023. I don't know if they still do this. Do they still do this? But at the private school I went to, honey, they did, took disciplinary action. And I don't mean you suspended. I mean, you got spanked at school. Like spanked with either a ruler or a paddle. I don't really recall being spanked with a paddle, but I do recall being spanked with a ruler, countless times on countless occasions. Let's not speak in regards to whether or not it's a reflection on parenting or any of those things. I just think that, like my parents, they were like the first of their generation to go to college and things like that. So then they brought their kids over to the burbs and they decided that their kids would go to private school in the burbs. And the private school ended up allowing A, B, and C. Also going to private school, is very expensive. So I think they were, like also taking everything into account when they were, making this decision. But like times have changed, girl. Times have really changed. I feel like, and I really don't know if schools are still doing the paddling or allowing corporal punishment with a sign off. I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm not even going to speak to it. But yeah, they did that, girl. And I don't know. How I feel about it? How did I feel about it? Getting spanked at school. I don't know. I really didn't think about it like in a way of like, I came home like, why are my teachers beating me? I never thought about that. I thought about more so like an adult disciplining a child because, corporal punishment wasn't something that I was not familiar with. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Like, am I getting too deep down? As I'm saying this out loud, like, it just is what it is. It's just whatever your preference is in regards to disciplining your child. So, like, I don't really think of it as like that. I just thought it was like sometimes, like, it was just... that private school that I went to, they really wanted us to be freaking perfect. Like they just wanted us to be without flaw. So I do feel like sometimes the punishment didn't match the crime, that they would punish what seemed like easily. And sometimes, kids are just being kids. But if I reflect now in regards to like the person I am, could we have done without the private school? I don't know. It shaped me into the person that I am today. I remember going into public school like in 8th grade being super scared, like dumb scared. Dumb scared, girl. And I was like, because in the private school that I went to, there was like 100 kids. And in my particular classes, I was the only black kid. So, there was that. And I never really also like, I don't feel like I noticed either. I didn't notice until we started to settle into our preteens, which is around that 7th grade, like that 6th, maybe 5th to 7th grade. Like I just noticed that when I would approach things, I would be like, when I would approach things, just be more expressive with myself or just anything that I felt like just showed real cultural differences. I started to look at a little bit, but I feel like it wasn't until my friends at my private school started to kind of point out things, that I realized we were different. It wasn't like I didn't know that I was a black girl. I was very aware of that. I was very clear about that. My father, whole pro-black. So, I never had no question on whether or not I was black. I just didn't realize. I just thought that my skin tone was the only thing that was different between me and my other friends. Just my skin tone. Not the way I talk, not the way I approach things, not the way I see things, not the way I understand things. I just thought that we were just different colors. Not that we would look at the world through two different glasses. But now, at my big old age, would I send my kids to private school? A private school like the private school I went to? No, ma'am, no Pam. No, ma'am, no Pam. But I do think that private school makes it just allows you to grow up with your age, at least at that time. They may be completely different now, but it just allowed me to grow up with my age. And even though I hated it and didn't like it, I feel like it's I don't know, I don't know. I just feel like it really made us focus on our fundamental things. I remember going around my cousins, and my cousin would have on J's and Tim's, and I would be like, what are those? Because in private school, yes, we had uniforms, and yes, I don't recall us being too, on Fridays, I think that you could wear whatever tennis shoe you wanted to wear or whatever shoe you wanted to wear. And I would put on some tennis shoes or something like that. So, but I didn't really see brands. I don't really see name brands. I wasn't really paying attention to that. And when I got to when I got to public school, yeah, they was like, girl, I don't know where you got them from. What are those? What's up with that? What you got on? What are those? What are those? And I would be like, just kind of realizing that private school really, you're focused on your curriculum. You are focused on your education. And then not saying that's just not the case across the school system as a whole, but I'm just saying that is their primary focus, at least the one that I went to. So I think that part of private school is good for kids, because especially now, I could not imagine growing up as a teenager in this time period. No way. No way. I really couldn't, and because it's social media, we had our own ways of getting onto each other, right? But it wasn't so real time. We had our own ways of texting, girl, I don't even know what she had on, and she sat with them at the bus today, whatever. We had our way of texting, but at the volume that kids have access to now, honey, it's just too much. It's just too much. It's really too much. And I don't know. By the time, when I have kids and when they're teenagers, I guess I'm going to have to come to a decision about how I feel about their socials or whatever is occurring at that time. Because, girl, I really want to keep my kids in a box. I really want to keep my kids in a box. Y'all crazy. Crazy for real. Love you, y'all. But just crazy. It's crazy. But anyways, boo, girl, boo. That is it for this. Should I call these episodes? Should they be episodes? The Virgo in me is already thinking about the scalability with that, meaning if we do 100 episodes, I'm gonna have to be this is episode 100 and label it episode 100. I'm not feeling it. No, I'm not feeling it. I don't think I am. Tell me if you think that makes sense. If you think it makes sense to describe these as episodes, or it's just a series with a title and we either choose to click or not click. Save for later too. You can save for later too, boo. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Watch on your own time, but please do watch. But anyways, yeah. So I like this. I really love this. I also, real quick, noticed that I speak fast. I mean, at least when I look back at my vlogs, and it looks like that to me. So I'm really liking this whole kind of vibe, this whole kind of ambiance. I'm liking having the time to talk to y'all and just kind of slow down. I mean, it sounds the same as far as the speed, but I feel like things are slowed down a little more because I feel like I try to squeeze this, like I said, into vlogs. But tell me what you think, girl. Tell me if this, we feeling it or not feeling it. But I feel like we could really do some things here. We really could if we give it the time If we're slow and steady and give it the time, okay, I'm gonna stop. Anyways, but thank you for watching. Like, comment, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.
It ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no one for guessing. No more than emotionally invested. Showing you all my imperfections.